What is the Filecoin network? Well, the Filecoin network is an upcoming blockchain network based around some of the similar concepts that gave birth to Bitcoin and Ethereum and some of the other blockchains out there. But ours is a little different. We've taken parts of the Bitcoin idea and parts of the Ethereum idea and really come up with something that we think appeals to the mass market and really delivers on the promises of a real payment network with a real currency and real use case, real utility. And so let me explain to you a little bit about the process and what makes Filecoin different from those two. Well, the Filecoin network is predicated upon us, the Filecoin Foundation, receiving coins, that is physical coins, whether they're dollars, euros, or even things like defunct currencies like the lira or the French franc or any of those other dodo currencies. Basically, we invite people around the world to send us coins. They could even be kind of, Chuck E. Cheese tokens or any kind of physical coin really at all that has any kind of utility in the eyes of the sender. You send us the coin, step one. Step two is we file it down, hence the Filecoin network, and we file it down and put it through a machine which counts the exact number of filings that it's been filed down into. And a video of this process, this filing process, is uploaded to something called IPFS, the Interplanetary File System, which is kind of a decentralized file storage protocol. And so we then send you a link to this video to prove that your coin was indeed filed down, and it also shows exactly how many pieces it was filed down into. We call this tentatively the Proof of Official Filings Protocol, or the POF protocol. POF. You'll send a link to the video so you know exactly how many filings, blah, blah, blah. And what we also do around this time is we create a token on top of the Filecoin network, and this unique token, represents the filings of your coin. So if you sent us a $1 coin, if such a coin exists, and we file it down and it transpires that it has filed down into 10,000 pieces, then we issue a new token on the Filecoin network called, whatever your name is, dollar coin or something. And there are, a fixed number of units of this coin, 10,000, and each one of those units represents one filing of your coin. And the novel thing here is that each one of those units is then divisible by, we haven't decided yet, but it's probably going to be like 16 to 20 decimal places. So think about that. I mean, if you sent us 1 cent and we filed it down into 10,000 pieces and issued 10,000 tokens to represent those pieces, each one of those tokens would actually, represent, with the 1/10,000th of a cent. Now imagine if you're dealing with 20 or even 10 decimal places, then you're talking about, like a millionth of a cent. You can have a token, or rather a fraction of a token, that represents a millionth of a cent. So think about the kind of, the micro payment, everything that could enable. I mean, really, if you think about things in the real world today are priced, the price is really limited by the units that we carry around to a very large extent, because a lot of people still make cash payments. So there isn't any unit smaller than a 1 cent or a 1 penny. Most currencies really kind of have a lower limit, whereas we're looking at really, really bringing the bottom in for that lower limit. And, because really micropayments aren't going to be available until something like this exists, until we can pay with, like a 10 millionth of a cent. You can't really make smaller payments and really monetize things that as yet are not monetized, like small fractions of time or just small things that aren't really necessarily even commodities. They're just things that you might want to pay for, like someone's walking a bit slowly, you might quickly tap on your phone to pay them, like, 2/10,000ths of a cent to get the fuck out of the way, or that kind of thing. I don't know, man. We haven't really thought in depth about that because, well, we have, but it's like there's so many permutations, there's so many possibilities that lots of things could be enabled by these kind of micro payments that as yet don't exist, and we don't think any of the existing protocols really can accommodate this kind of thing. So the Filecoin network will be one of the only networks, or the only network in the world, where you're able to actually spend small, like infinitesimally small fractions of real world currency, not some kind of Mickey Mouse, digital currency that's just invented out of thin air and wildly volatile, but a real government issued currency can then become spendable in infinitesimally small fractions, and that enables a whole new economy, one that's just not enabled with existing blockchains and the native tokens belonging to them. So where are we? I've got some notes here for the rest of it. These tokens are then issued to you. You are given a public and private key pair and seed phrase by us. We create them and issue them, and we give you a copy, which means we can, in exceptional circumstances, we can access the coins if we have reason to believe you are using them for fraudulent or otherwise criminal purposes. We can get in there. We think without this kind of measure that it just simply wouldn't be viable for mainstream adoption, because there need to be checks in place to remove bad actors and to prevent the network being used for illegal activities, much like the Bitcoin network. But you're given a private and public key pair and a seed phrase, a recovery seed phrase, and you are then the owner or in control of these tokens that represent the filings of your coin. And you can then spend them on the Filecoin network with what we hope will be a mixed ecosystem of merchants and consumers that are buying and selling all kinds of things, products and services and things that really haven't even been imagined yet because of all the new business models this kind of thing enables. But your coin will be, there is no native token to the Filecoin network. There will exist lots of different coins. Each physical coin that we're sent will become a new token on the network, essentially. So we envisage a future where there will be millions, hundreds of millions, maybe billions or even trillions, but there will be many, many, many coins on the Filecoin network. Each coin on the network represents a real coin that's been filed down in real life, and those filings will be stored in cold storage in our data set, or, well, we'll get a freezer or something. So those coins are going to be safe, because there may come a time when, if the Filecoin network becomes non-viable, then we don't want to sit on a load of filings that are potentially worth a lot of money, so we may have to glue them back together. But assuming that doesn't happen, because it's kind of an unlikely scenario, but one that could transpire in some kind of Mad Max scenario. But basically, you'll be able to spend your filings, these file coins, at anyone who will accept your particular coin. Some people may prefer to accept dollars, and so if you've sent us a euro, it may not be very useful with those people. And some people may prefer particular coins. They may like virgin coins. They may like the filings of a coin that have never been used before, or they might like trusted coins that have been, filings that have been around the world a lot, or filings that have been in a particular place. Because each coin, each filing, each token, and each fraction of a token will have its own history. That's what we plan. And we really want to track every last filing. We want to show a history for every filing of every coin in the world, ideally. I mean, that's the long-term vision. So you may have to persuade people to take your coin, but other people may not need to be persuaded. They may actively come to seek you. They may solicit your custom because they value, for one reason or another, your particular filings. And there are many reasons why people might do this, but basically all of the records of the filings will be publicly available. So merchants will be able to see the videos on IPFS of these filed down coins and the resultant filings. And they may like one thing, something about one coin may just appeal to them. It may be a certain year that it was made and minted, and that may correspond to their birth year or a lucky number or something. So, it's going to enable some interesting things. We don't quite know how merchants are going to value one coin over another, or even if they will indeed care. But you can know that each coin is its own currency. I mean, where else in the world could you could send us 100 coins, and they get filed down each into 1,000 filings, and then you have 100,000 filings, each that could be drawn down to a decimal of like 10,000, 10, 16, 20 decimal places. Then you're operating in the region of God knows how many millions of filings, and all you did was send us a few coins. You could almost carry that amount of coins in your pocket. So we expect our network to be absolutely jammed with coins. We're not jammed in the sense that it will be non-functional, but we expect so many tokens, so many coins to be issued, that it will quickly surpass the likes of Ethereum, which saw a kind of explosion in tokenized assets in 2017 with the ICO boom. And we expect that we will massively, like by orders of magnitude, outstrip the Ethereum network in terms of tokens issued because of our PUF protocol. And at that point, I think we will really have acquired the network effect pretty quickly. I mean, we'll have more coin, more tokens, and they'll all be real currency as well. They won't be made up currency. There'll be real proper government issued currency that people actually value in the real world. And there'll be evidence. There'll be the videos and IPFS, so they'll all be auditable publicly. So that's the general idea. And so we think the Filecoin network is probably one of the most ambitious projects in blockchain, but also one of the most realistic in terms of its chances of mass adoption. As for kind of the timescales as to when this will all become available, well, we've been kind of tentatively working on it for about maybe a year now. Things are ramping up with the R&D. We haven't got much of a background in cryptography or distributed systems, but there's so much open source stuff out there right now that we can basically get the meat and potatoes of it done ourselves. And we hope that this will be out. I mean, we don't want to set a date, but 2021 is when we're looking at Q1 2021. We will hopefully have got everything in place by then, and we will be ready to go live. It is, if you want to know about the protocol more in depth, further videos will be coming on that matter, but it will be a proof of stake network. Originally, we conceived it as a proof of filings network, but it became very difficult to really kind of get that into the protocol with regard to the incentivization of the nodes and all this nonsense. So it's going to be like a delegated proof of stake protocol, and it's basically all the stake is going to be delegated to us, and we will in the future, if other nodes come on board, we will look at them and decide if they are also good actors, and if they are good actors, we will allow them to keep a copy of the records as well. And that enables it to be very scalable. We reckon it will be about 40,000 transactions a second, which is what would be needed if you're talking about micropayments as well as kind of general mass market like consumer payments. And if you want to compete with Visa and MasterCard and go for the micropayment stuff, 40,000 is, you need like streaming payments. That's going to be it's going to be a lot of transactions. So it's going to begin at 40,000, but we have good reason to believe that we can, with better database technology, after we've been out about a year, we should hopefully have a lot more money because I didn't mention that 20% of the filed coins will go to us. That's how we make our money. This figure will go down in time to around 5% once we've made a certain amount of money that allows us to kind of continue our operations. But in the beginning, it will be 20%, and that we know that may disincentivize a lot of people from participating. But again, we don't need a lot of people in the first few months. Those people will be pioneers, and we'll reward them in some other way. But it will eventually be as low as 5%, and that will enable us to hire better database engineers going forward, and better blockchain guys, and we should be able to massively increase transactions. So that's the Filecoin network in a nutshell. And if you want to invest in the Filecoin network, we don't have a token out yet. Like I said, there is no native token, but if you want to send us money in return for well, we could talk about, equity. I mean, we're not a company or anything. We have the Filecoin Foundation, which we're in the process of setting up. That will be probably a not-for-profit. But if you like the idea of staking a claim on some of that 5% of the coin filings, we can talk. We can talk because we need to get as much money as we can in the initial stages to bootstrap all of our ideas. So there'll be an email address below. We can talk, and you can anyone sends us donations are welcome, because this is also like a community project. So, this benefits everyone if it goes live and works well. So send us donations, talk to us about investing. We'll hopefully we'll give you a good return on your money. Right, that's it. Okay, I'm pretty tired now. So, thank you. Filecoin Network coming soon. Get your coins, file them down. We file them down, not you. File your coins down, get them filed. They don't need to be sitting down the back of your sofa or, in a coin jar somewhere. Send them to us, file them down, use them globally, all over the world in smallest of percentages, and realize the new economy together. Filecoin. Poof.